make sure just wanted to make you aware that it's being recorded. So thank you again, Daniel. I am Judy Costello, Special Projects Manager in the Office of County Executive Mark Elrich, and on behalf of the County Executive and our colleagues at the Council who will be formally deliberating and working on this grant process next week, we want to encourage all of you to apply for these grants. They are focused on those of you I see in the chat: photography, catering, remodeling. If you're trying to get the word out about your business, you'll learn here today how to register yourselves on Visit Montgomery's Discover MoCo site and with our great finance team at Montgomery County. So we want to thank the partners on that team who will be reviewing those grants. Thank the Maryland Department of Commerce who processed this funding from the American Recovery Act. And without further ado, let's learn how you get these grants. Good luck to all of you, and we look forward to helping tell your stories through the visibility you'll have on the Discover MoCo site. Thank you, Daniel.
Well, thank you, Judy, and we appreciate your time and the greetings that you bring from the County Executive. All right, so with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Lori, who will give us an overview.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. Just a brief overview of the Online Sales and Telework Grant Program that we're getting ready to launch on Friday. So this program is funded through American Recovery Act funds that the county received through the Maryland Department of Commerce. It's an opportunity to help small businesses increase your online sales and e-commerce capabilities. Part of that is through a partnership that we have with Visit Montgomery, and they have created a Discover MoCo online business directory, and you'll hear more about that in a few minutes. This is also an opportunity for you to utilize some of these grant funds for any additional telework needs for employees, supporting costs related to either hardware or software needs for teleworking. And just a couple of things, do remember that this grant is COVID relief related. So eligible businesses must have been established prior to March 9th, 2020. So prior to when the state of emergency regarding the pandemic was announced, must still currently be in operation, must be in good standing with the state of Maryland, and must be registered on the Discover MoCo online business directory that Visit Montgomery has created for this. Not only is this a great opportunity for you to get more exposure right now and have access to these grant funds, but this Discover MoCo business directory, a reminder to everybody, please mute yourselves. You hear somebody in a car. But this will be an opportunity for you to be on the Discover MoCo business directory, which will be accessible to residents and other folks, around the globe, really looking for your goods and services at any point in time, as long as we've got that Discover MoCo active. So it's a great opportunity for additional exposure for your businesses, and we appreciate you participating in this. And again, the application itself will go live this Friday morning. So I'll turn it back over to Daniel, and we can get into some more specifics of everything.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lori. And with that being said, I'm going to again introduce Corey, who is with Visit Montgomery. Corey, if you want to take it away, and if you want me to share the sites, please let me know.
I can go ahead and share my screen if that's possible.
Sure, let me see. Go right ahead.
Great. Hello, everyone. My name is Corey Van Horn. I'm with Visit Montgomery, and we're excited to work with Montgomery County to develop this Discover MoCo directory as a part of the Telework Grant Program. So Visit Montgomery is the official tourism marketing organization for Montgomery County. And both residents and visitors come to visitmontgomery.com to learn about things to do in Montgomery County. We get over 1 million page views on this website, and it is a one-stop shop resource for all things to do in Montgomery County. The Discover MoCo directory is a way for businesses like yours to be able to become more visible and have a stronger online presence to the people who are visiting Visit Montgomery and visiting Montgomery County and the residents as a whole. So in order to sign up for the MoCo directory, which is a part of the grant program requirements, you will go to discovermocomd.com, and I will share that in the chat. And that'll take you to our Discover MoCo directory landing page on visitmontgomery.com. When you scroll down, you can submit your listing and you can learn more about the Telework grant program, which Lori will share more about later. When you click on Submit Listing, you'll be taken over to a page like this that is Add Discover MoCo Listing. We ask that businesses are available, listings that are available for businesses that are located in Montgomery County, Maryland. Businesses are reviewed and moderated by the Visit Montgomery team before they're published. We check for grammar and style to make sure that things are listed correctly and will appear when the listing is activated. And then you'll be notified when your business listing is activated. If you have any questions about the listing or your submission, you can email marketing@visitmontgomery.com, and a member of the team will reply to your question and will help assist you in any way we can. The form is completely user-friendly. You submit your business name and address, your city, and then your zip code. Those are all the required fields. And then you click Set Address on Map, which will place an icon where you are located. And then you add your phone number, business email, website, and business description. Now, the business description is important because this helps people who are visiting and looking at Visit Montgomery and Discover MoCo to understand what your business is all about, so that way they have all the information on one page. If you have a Facebook or Instagram page, you can add those links here, and then you can select a category that best fits your business need. If you are a professional services business, such as a insurance company or a professional services coach or a marketing firm or something like that, you would enter in professional services as your category. Then we require that at least one image that is not your logo be uploaded. This is to allow for your business listing to be created and fully activated. If your logo is uploaded and no other gallery image is not provided, we'll email you and ask you to upload an image before we can activate your account. And then there's additional information below, which we will use to contact you in case we have any questions regarding your listing. When you complete the listing, you can preview it before you submit. And then when you have everything and it looks the way that you want it, you hit Submit Listing. And then it goes into our moderation area on our website, where a member of the Visit Montgomery team will review your listing, make sure that everything is accurate, and then activate it. We review listings every morning and then at the end of the day. So there may be a small lag time between the activation of your listing and it going live on our website. However, know that you will be notified when the listing is activated. If you have any additional questions about how the Telework grant program works, we also have that information available at visitmontgomery.com. There is a link to submit your listing as well, and then additional links that go over to the Montgomery County Business Resources site for additional information. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that, Corey. And now if you stop sharing, then I will then go through the application pages. But the goal again is to ensure that this application is very simple and straightforward. So step one is what Corey just shared with everyone. And I'm actually going to be sharing right now my screen in terms of what you need to do for step two. So I'm not sure if everyone, you can see my page. It may be a little bit small for many of you. Let's see how I can zoom in. But there are 5 pages in the application. This is actually page number 1. Page number 1 basically, it's telling you a little bit about the program, and then it also instructs you, because one of the requirements is that you indeed register with Discover MoCo, and that's what Corey just took us through that process. And so we do ask you again right here if you've registered. If you say no, what happens is that the application automatically redirects you to that site, so you can register. It is important, because if you're not registered and you submit a resume, an application, you're not going to be approved. It's the requirement. And I'm emphasizing that because we don't want someone to say, oh, wow, I forgot to do this. Can I register now and submit it? It will be too late. So I'm giving you this information up front so that you don't, so that you can actually do everything that is required. The steps are only 2 steps, and it's very simple. So after that, the second page is actually this, and I know this is very, very small. I'm trying to see how I can zoom into this. This is the second page of the application. Again, this asks for the business contact information. As you see, it's just the basic business contact information that we're asking for. So
this is still a small, Daniel.
It's still small. Okay, let me see how, is this better?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so again, just the basic, as you see, when I was in the first page, it says I highlighted page 1, and now it's in page 2. Again, business contact, this is the actual application that I'm actually sharing right now with you in terms of the screenshots that I took of the application. See, just basic business information that we're asking you to provide. Oh, another hint on this one, please make sure you provide an email that you check regularly, because if not, in the past, we've had people who said, I didn't get any email. Well, because they forgot that they put one email on an application, and then the email that they check regularly was not the email that they submitted. So please make sure you provide an email address that you check regularly. All right, let me go to page number 3. This is page 3 of the application. Let me scroll up a little bit. Again, it talks about the applicant itself in terms of your information, in terms of the business tax ID number, or if you have a social security number. And again, it asks us basic, if you are, if you have employee, if you be hiring anyone, in terms of if your business is still open, and just basic information that you have with you, that you don't need to hire anyone to provide this information for you. That's page number 3. Let me go to page number 4. Page number 4, and let me zoom in. Okay, so page number 4 is the demographics information. Again, this is required by the state, and so we need to ask, but you have an option to basically, not provide any of that information. Right? We ask if you're a woman-owned business, and all this information. Again, these are simple, straightforward. And then let's go to the last page, the final page. This is the final page, and let me zoom in a little bit again, so just to make sure you. So this is just again a disclosure that all information you're providing to us is accurate, and then from there you will put in the name of the owner, the name of the business, and then you hit submit. So these are the 5 steps, the 5 pages that you would need to go through in order for you to submit your application. But lastly, let me reiterate in terms of what I said earlier, in terms of your registration with Visit Montgomery. If you do not complete that registration with Visit Montgomery, you're not going to be able to be eligible, because this right here is the main eligibility criteria. You need to make sure you go and follow the steps that Corey just went through and then you come back and then you submit your application. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing and show you exactly where this application will be on the county's website. And I'll also put a copy of that, a copy of the link actually on the chat. So this is the main Montgomery County webpage. So www.montgomerycountymd.gov. All right, so I'm going to click through so you see exactly where things will be. So when you come to the main webpage, all the way at the top right here, I'm going to just highlight it. It says COVID-19 updates. If you click on that, it brings you, and I'm doing this live so that you see exactly where everything is. So when you come to the COVID-19 update, or when you click on that, on the right-hand side, the far right-hand side, you see where it says COVID-19 business resources. If you click on that, then it takes you to our resource page for businesses. And you scroll down, this is the information about the online sales and telework program. And this is where the application will go live. But we've also provided instructions, not only about the program in terms of eligibility, but also the steps that you need to take. Step 1 that Corey talked about, step 2, the application itself. And so when you come to the site on the 12th of November, there will be a button that you will click that will take you to the application that I just went through. So I'm going to pause, and then I will then get Lori to talk about after you submit your application, what are some of the things to expect from the county. Lori?
So there are also, Daniel, a couple of questions in the chat, and Corey, I just want to confirm with Corey, I want to make sure we answer these questions. So Corey, one of the questions is the image upload just for verification, or will it be directly associated with the company that applies? I believe it's directly associated with the company that applies, that it is not.
Yes, it's directly associated with the company that applies, and it is think of it as a marketing image. So it's an image that you want a customer to see.
And then Corey, another question is, what about businesses that are online without a physical location? Is that a problem with the set your location part of the submission?
That is a good question. We will have to review that and find out how I can make that happen, because it's location based currently.
Okay. There's a question about the links, the discovermoco.com, that's the link, right, Corey?
DiscoverMoCoMD.com.
So that link does actually work, but it does redirect you to a Visit Montgomery/directory page. But you can go, someone was asking about that link, that it didn't appear to be the correct one, but that is an actual link that does work and takes you there. There's another question about our nonprofits, which provide in-person and virtual services for clients eligible for the grants program. Yes, both for-profit and nonprofit businesses are eligible for this program. There are no distinctions between for-profit and nonprofit businesses for this one. Specifics on how the funds should be used. So the intent of this grant program is to enhance your online sales capabilities, which is why we're having you register for the Discover MoCo online business directory. So part of those funds should be supporting and enhancing any existing website you have, or Facebook page, or Instagram page, however you're currently marketing your services. The Discover MoCo page will help you to enhance that online sales presence. So that is one use of those funds. And then you may also use the funds for teleworking. If you still have people working from home to provide services, you may use some of the grant funds to purchase laptops, to purchase a new software, or upgrade your online sales software to help facilitate additional online e-commerce opportunities for your business. So There is no reporting requirement for this program after the fact, like we had for the initial, for instance, like we had for the initial public health emergency grant fund program. There is no follow-up reporting. The application will open, it should be live at 9 a.m. this Friday morning. I did already answer the yes, if you're a nonprofit or provide counseling services to folks in Montgomery County and you are considered a business and you can, document that you are an active business in the county and you meet all the other requirements, then yes, you would qualify for the grant. Cottage Monet, I think that's going to have to be a specific question to Corey. That probably offline. Corey, they're having a hard time getting to the, I'm assuming it's to that because the county's actual grant application will not be live until Friday morning, 9 a.m. So that will happen then. If your business has 2 locations, as long as you have a physical location in Montgomery County, you are eligible to apply for this grant.
Lori, I just want to step in on that part of it. And if you have locations and you want to submit to Discover MoCo for both locations, they will need to be submitted separately. You cannot put them under one form.
Yeah, absolutely. Accounting services can apply. Yes, you're an active business doing business here in the county, providing services. So what will the grant amount be? So our grant agreement with the state, grants can be up to $10,000, but we have about $789,000 available in grant funds. So depending on the number of qualified applications that we get, we will be awarding these grants on a pro rata share between all eligible approved applications. So we are going to review and approve all applications received. I shouldn't say we're going to approve them all. We will review for eligibility all applications that are received. And once we determine who is eligible, then we'll know how many eligible candidates we have, and we will divide the number of approved applications by the total dollar amount available. So if we end up getting 2,000 qualified applicants, then your grant amount will be a smaller dollar amount. If we have 200, then it'll be a larger dollar amount, but it's going to be done very fairly on a pro rata share to all qualified applicants. But you do need to make sure you submit and are registered on Discover MoCo between 9 a.m. this Friday morning and midnight next Friday night. So I can't give you an actual dollar amount until we know how many approved applications there are.
Okay. Are there any more in there? And then if not, I have a couple of hands that I raised.
Yeah, there are a bunch of more messages, trying to get through them. Business needs to be registered on the Visit MoCo site, on that Discover MoCo-Business directory. The county staff who are reviewing those understand there may be a slight lag time between when a company registers on the Discover MoCo site and when they actually appear live. So we are taking that into consideration, and we'll be receiving regular master list reports from Visit Montgomery that has the complete list of folks who have applied to be on Discover MoCo. So that will be taken. Just make sure you register on Discover MoCo first so that you can say, yes, you have registered on Discover MoCo.
Then Lori, I also want to highlight in terms of you must be in good standing with the state in order for you.
As with every grant program that we administer, you must be in good standing with the state of Maryland. There are instructions on the webpage, and Daniel, there is that dedicated webpage for online sales and telework grant that will go live Friday morning when the link is live. That will have step-by-step instructions if you need to verify that you are in good standing with the state. It will tell you how to look yourself up and find that. as a disclaimer, sole proprietors are not required to be registered with the state of Maryland. So if you're a sole proprietor, that is not a requirement, but all other entities should be registered and in good standing with the state.
And I've just put in actually the link on the chat so that you can get a step ahead and check and see if you're in good standing before our site goes live. Please make sure you do that, because without that, as Laurie just stated, we won't be able to go into a contract with you, which these grants are.
Correct. You have a martial arts school. Can you apply? Yes, we are not limiting this to by industry type. Any industry is eligible to apply.
All right, Laurie, can I take, I think Wilma's been waiting for a while. So let me just take, Wilma,
Okay.
you want to unmute
Yep.
and then ask your question?
Sure.
Hi, thank you very much for taking the time to present all this information. My question is in regards to the registration. I understand there's going to be a lag between the time that we actually submit our registration request with the site and the time that we're approved. In order for us to apply, we must be registered and approved, or if we submitted the application to be registered, is okay to apply.
Laurie, you
But
want
you
to take
can
that? I think that's
register
one of
on
the
you
questions.
can register on Discover MoCo right now. You
Yes,
can get on there right now, register today, and then you'll have your verification from Visit Montgomery, and we'll be all completely done before you even apply for the county grant. But we also understand from Visit Montgomery that there may be a slight lag from if you register on Discover MoCo at 10 o'clock on a Monday morning, you might not be confirmed until noon on Tuesday. And we understand that as we're reviewing those applications. But one of the questions you answer is, have you registered on Discover MoCo? And if your answer is yes, then we will be able to confirm that. And we may have to wait a day until we can confirm that, but there's no reason why you can't go ahead and get registered on Discover MoCo and then apply for the county grant as well.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Sure.
you're welcome. Dorsis, you want to unmute yourself and ask a question?
Yes, how you doing? Well, my question was, I think I had already applied on Discover MoCo. We'd already registered our company, I think. Do I have to apply again before we can start the application process, or how does that work?
No, I mean, if you're already on the Discover MoCo listing, then
Yeah.
you're already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so
I want to make sure that
go to
you're
the
not.
webpage and confirm that you are.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. I want to
Yeah.
say, because this is not like our CVRS system. I know many of you had to register for CVRS in order for you to get the other grants that you applied for. That's different from Discover MoCo. So just make sure again, I think Corey, if you can put the link on the chat again so that folks can go and check. And if you're not registered on the site that Corey is going to put on the chat, make sure you register right away.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Dorsis. Kim, do you have a question that you want to unmute your mic?
Yes, good afternoon. First of all, thank you so very much. This is really exciting, the opportunity to apply for this grant. I have a few questions because you gave out a lot of information. So first of all, I'm to understand that when we register with Discover MoCo, that mechanism, i.e. that Discover MoCo website, is solely for promoting our businesses. It's not like you're going to be, selling that information or using it some other way other than to promote our businesses in the county, correct?
Corey, you want to take that?
That is correct. We do not and will not sell any business information. Discover MoCo is designed to be a promotional platform to help you get the word out for the customers.
Okay, and then so to follow up, this particular grant opportunity also is different from Montgomery County Economic Development Council's grant, correct?
You mean different from the telework grant that they had offered previously?
Yeah, separate
Yes,
and
this is
apart from that.
Correct. This is a new program. Yes.
Okay, and then finally, even though you kind of cursory went through the application process, is there an area on the application where we can add information that we might think germane to our application? So for example, with me running a nonprofit, you know, we're different than a for-profit business. And while we want to promote ourselves, we're not actually selling a product, we're selling ourselves. And, you know, sometimes I think there needs to be an opportunity when people, I don't know who's reviewing these applications, but, you know, they might look at it under a different lens than, say, a profit versus a not-for-profit situation.
Yeah, I appreciate the question, but there's not an opportunity for you to add information. We're not evaluating the business based on what we perceive as the value of your business. You don't need to make a business case for us. Again, this is a pretty straightforward, cut and dry program. If you're registered on Discover MoCo, if you're in good standing with the state, if you had been established prior to March 9th of 2020, and you're still in operation providing goods or services to folks here in Montgomery County, then you qualify. So we're not ranking businesses based on a perceived, you know, how important they are to the community.
Okay, well, thank you so very much. I
Thank you,
appreciate the answers.
You're welcome. Let's go to Aisha. Aisha, unmute yourself.
My question, good afternoon, everybody. My question is for Corey. Corey, I was just on the site, well, last week I was on the site, then I just went back again. I just wanted to make sure that I was getting the same error. I'm in Leisure World Plaza, and when I put it in, it's showing the previous business that was located here instead of picking up my own business. I've tried it like 4 times. Help, please.
If you put in your address and then type in your business name, we verify the addresses before they're activated. So we'll cross-check to make sure that the business that you've listed on the form and the address matches.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask.
But just to be clear though, I think, Aisha, are you saying when you're trying to do that, the previous business, first of all, is he allowing you to do it, or is it the previous business?
It's not allowing me to go past the fact that it's asked when, okay, so I'm there now, and I put the name of my company, I put my address, and then I gone to the city and this, the country and this, the city. When it comes to choosing the neighborhood, it's not choosing me because I think because both my name and my business doesn't match that particular location, but I've been here a year. So,
Okay.
But it's not allowing me to pass the first page. It won't allow me to set me on the map. Because if he starts setting me, he sets another business. And then when I go back to finalize the registration, it takes me back to choose your neighborhood. It keeps throwing me back to choose my neighborhood. Like I don't belong in the neighborhood, but I'm there.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's a few people from MoCo that can vouch that I'm here because they've been here.
Yes. If you could send an email to marketing@visitmontgomery.com, I'll check your listing and see what the error is.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for that. Fernando, you want to unmute yourself and ask your question? Fernando Martinez. All right, one more time, Mr. Martinez, you want to unmute yourself? You have your hands up. Okay. Can you read?
Yes, hi. So my question is, I was kind of putting my information in the Discover MoCo listing, and I didn't see any option for like biotech company. Is this grant is also for biotech or only for service providers?
So the grant itself is available to any business type. Corey, I'm not sure, is there an other category or anything like that on your, I'm not sure what specific industries like that should do.
Um,
I chose like undescribed or something like that. That was like the last
Categories.
option.
yes, what we'll do is add yourself to professional services, and then we will be creating a bio category after the call.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Aliyah, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes.
hijo.
Hi. Hello? Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Aliyah.
Yeah, so my question is, under the grant application, and I saw one of the first questions was whether you're an individual or a business owned by individuals. If I'm a single member LLC, should I select individual or a business organization owned by individuals?
So that is actually on the demographic information page. I would, if you're incorporated as an LLC, I think either one works for you. You could say, because you're not a sole proprietor, you're actually an LLC. So you would probably want to say business organization owned by individuals as your response to that. But
Okay.
that's on the demographic data, so it does not affect whether or not you would get approved for the grant.
Okay, all right. And then my last question is, under the address on the Visit MoCo or the Discover MoCo, my business is like when I put in my address, I would put in like 5751-A because I'm in a suite. But when I type it in, it recognizes the address, but it autocorrects and it doesn't include the suite number. So should I just overwrite that and include, the -A in the address, or just let it autocorrect?
The auto, what pre-fills in is actually pulled from Google. It's pulled from Google Maps. So my recommendation is to override it. And if you're not able to override it, we will be reviewing the address and confirming and adding in the suite number.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Jose, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello, good afternoon. How's everybody? My question is, and I am sorry, I did get in just a bit late, but if we do have, I know a lot of people are doing the forms right now. If we can do it online, is there a help number or help email that we can reach out later on when we're in front of our computers?
Yes, when you're completing the Discover MoCo submission form and you have any questions, you can email marketing@visitmontgomery.com. Email address is also on the form itself.
Okay, perfect.
Forget it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Jose. Teresa, you want to unmute yourself?
Hello, I think you're calling for me.
Yes.
Yeah, so when I was trying to fill out the form, it's not accepting my URL, my web address. I don't know why. It's active and working, and I am putting in www as the prefix, which I assume you want in the form, or is there some special order, is my first question.
Yes, I can answer that question. You actually, we recommend that you copy and paste from, because it needs to have the HTTP // So I recommend opening up your website and then copying and pasting it from there.
Okay, and my second question is, I actually do my services on site at people's homes. And so my business address is actually a UPS store, because I don't want people having my home address, because I don't do any business out of my home directly. How do I register my address? Because I think you kick out me because of my UPS store address.
That is something we have to follow up on at this point. So unfortunately, I can't answer that right now. So Daniel,
But is there any way to flag my application so someone can like, not immediately decline it, and which happened last time I applied?
Yes. So what you do is, again, email marketing@Visit Montgomery just to give us a heads up, and then we'll make sure that you're included in the application.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Fernando, are you back? You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, I had to reset the computer again. I have a suggestion for Corey and a question. The suggestion is maybe it's wise to add in the description when you're completing the form where you have to add the image, add the size requirements of the image, because I added a kind of a banner type image, and when I see the preview, it's cut halfway there. So my suggestion is to add the sizing of the images that you require. That's the suggestion. The question is, having done that, how can I edit it? Because I cannot go to kind of a login page where I can edit my information. Is this something that I have to wait for you guys to approve it, and then I will have the possibility to add or change the image?
Yes. So what we'll do is review the image, and we actually check for if the sizing is accurate or correct, and then we'll request an updated image.
Thank you.
And thank you for the suggestion.
Kevin, why don't you unmute and ask your question?
Hi there. I'm sorry if I missed it. I was multitasking with work. With the disbursement, once it's been decided, the pro rata share, do you know how the funds are dispersed? Will it all be direct deposit?
So when you register in CVRS, which is the county's vendor registration site that everyone will need to be registered in order to receive payment from the county, there is an option to complete ACH, electronic payment information.
Okay.
I believe that the accounts payables preference is to send checks, because with electronic, you have to do, of course, VIN verification and things like that for financial purposes. But there is an option once you register in CVRS. So if you provide the ACH information, then you may be able to receive electronic payment. Otherwise,
okay. Yeah, I'm okay with paper check. I was just wondering how it was dispersed. I think for the
the preference would be for a paper check.
Paper check. Okay. Yeah, the first round of telework, I think I had it through ACH. But that's totally fine. And a second question, I guess, a side unrelated question to that, but related to this, is if I have two businesses, I can still apply for each telework just for what it is, or because they're completely separate businesses?
As long as they're completely separate with individual federal tax ID numbers,
yes,
and both are in good standing, then yes, they can. Yes.
One of the businesses, I don't have a website. Is that needed, or is that only for the directory listing?
So both, because you need to be listed. I mean, you need to be registered on Discover MoCo in order to qualify for this grant. So
yes, I mean, the registration, I just submitted it for one of them, but for the other one that doesn't have a website, I forgot if it's required to have a website as opposed to contact information and email.
So Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the Discover MoCo site, does that require having either a web address or a Facebook page or something like that?
I just wanted to verify. Yes. So we have the website listed as required.
Okay.
And we've had people who do not have a website put their Facebook page in that.
Okay.
Field. And then we have the optional Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, great. Yeah. So then what I might do is, so Insta or Facebook is still possible as the URL for a website?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, because then what I might do then is, because it's relatively new, so we haven't had a chance to set up the website or any of the other stuff. So I guess I should set that up before I submit the application. Does it sound right?
It would probably behoove you to do that.
Okay. All right.
Would be my suggestion. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Any other question, Kevin?
Thank you.
Okay, and also let me just bring to everyone's attention around, and that was a good question around payment delivery. So when you're putting in the mailing address, because this is again based on our past experience, please make sure you put it in an address where you can check the mail, right? So put in the business address, make sure you have access to that mail. The reason why is because in the past, we've had folks who would put a different address, and all of a sudden, because many offices were closed, had no access to those facilities. So please just make sure, I want to make sure we've learned from some of the past mistakes, and that's what I'm bringing up to you so that you are ready for this one and so you don't repeat those mistakes. All right, with that being said, Wesley, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Wesley, are you still there? Okay. Oh, well, Wesley, we can't hear you. Can you? Yeah, we cannot hear you. I don't know if you're using a Bluetooth device or.
Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Go ahead.
Set up for this Bluetooth headset. I apologize.
That's okay.
I have three things.
Yes, sir.
First one, I'm trying to register, but we're having a problem. We're at 4340 East West Highway, building over there, and when I type that in, it says, "Are you sure that you work, your business is there?" Because of the fact that there's other people who are registered with that address. So I just want to make sure, how do I, put everything in correctly so that it registers the address? For some reason, it just keeps popping that message out.
Okay, so our system tracks duplicates, and so somebody else may be putting in that same address because of a shopping center. So if you could just send an email message to marketing@visitmontgomery.com with your business name, and I'll troubleshoot that with you.
So marketing at visitmontgomery.com.
Yep.
Okay, and then we are we handle we're a law firm, but we handle bankruptcies. So do I just put that under professional services?
Yes.
And then the other question. My other question is that I'm sorry. Now I'm hearing echo. Is when it comes to checking with the state, where do we go for that again? To see if we're in good standing. I believe we are, but I just want to make sure.
Actually put the link on the chat.
Yeah, but it's through Maryland Business Express. Part of SDET, but Daniel can get the link here in the chat.
I'm sorry, say that one more time. I'm looking for it now.
Let me put it, I'm going to put it again in the chat.
Okay.
All right, let's go on to Elise. You have another question?
No, that's it.
Okay, Elisa, go ahead. Alicia Randolph, you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hi, I pretty much had the same question that the gentleman before me had. I need to add a suite number. I'm pretty much online holistically, but we do have a warehouse where we sometimes fulfill orders from. So I will send an email, and correct me if this is wrong, but I will send an email to marketing@visitmontgomery.com and just include that suite number so it's specified. Also, I'm not 100% sure. I know this is a marketing website, so no one can visit us there because, like I mentioned, it's the warehouse. Does that make a difference, or does that impact the listing?
So based on the feedback that we've received so far, what we will likely be doing is reviewing the forms and adding a button that says, this is a virtual business, or I do not want the address to appear live. So if that is the case for now, just email marketing@visitmontgomery.com until we can update the form.
Okay.
And then
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll include all those details in the email. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Deborah Williams, you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, I would just want to double check if the registration page is where they said add discovery MoCo listing. Is that the registration page?
I know Corey just placed the link on the site of the site on the chat. So if you want to look at that, Deborah.
I click on the link and then I saw where it said listing, discovery, MoCo directory, and below that it said submit listing. That's where I click on. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Any other question, Deborah? Or that's it?
That's it. Thanks.
All right. You're welcome, Jamie. Yeah, Jamie, you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Hello there. I heard that, or I read that if you have applied and received funds on another teleworking program, that you would not receive priority. That priority would
You have to
be
raise your
reserved.
hand on this.
Hello?
Yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead. If you
Oh,
can
that's
repeat the
okay.
question
So
again.
I wanted to know if you could comment on that, about what that means exactly, that those who have not received funding from another teleworking program would receive priority.
Laurie, you want to take that?
Yes, sure. So it's that's one of the conditions that the state of Maryland gave to us is they don't necessarily want businesses who already got a telework grant from either the Maryland Department of Commerce or through the Maryland Department of Labor to receive additional telework funds for the same uses. The reason we set this up the way we did, so that you have to register on Discover MoCo, that business directory, is so that we can verify to the state of Maryland that you are utilizing grant funds for online sales enhancement opportunities. So you may still apply if you receive telework funds through other sources. We will look at that, but it really should not influence your grant award for this program.
Jamie, does that answer your question?
It sure did. It was very helpful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Glenda, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, I have a question. The question has been, I think, partially answered. I have a martial arts school, and we've been in existence for many years, but our owner died, and we just reincorporated everything. Can I still apply for this grant?
As long as you, well,
yeah,
I don't know that you would be eligible if the name has changed and you can't prove that you were established prior to March 9th, 2020. That would be the issue that you would run into. If it's the same business and you've just changed ownership and things like that, and the business was in business prior to March 9th of 2020, then you would be fine. But if you would actually be considered a new business, then unfortunately, no, you would not be eligible for this program.
Okay, because the reason why we changed over because the it's deal with his estate, and we had to put it in another name. That's why we
did that happen recently?
Almost a year ago.
Yeah, but not prior to March of 2020. So it does not sound like you would be eligible for this, unfortunately, the way that this program is set up.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Glenda. Diane, you want to unmute yourself and ask a question?
Yes, hi. I think my question was just answered by the question that, well, the answer you gave to the previous gentleman, because I had heard one of the other attendees say something about they had two businesses and one was relatively new, and could he apply? And I thought at that time someone said yes. So it just sounds like conflicting information to me. So I just wanted to get a clarification, but I think you just did that.
Yeah, the businesses must have been established prior to March 9th of 2020. So you're right. If it's a new business, then it would not be eligible for this program.
Yep. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Diane. And Deborah, want you to unmute yourself and ask a question?
Hi, thank you so much. I have a couple questions about the idea that there'll be priority given to certain groups. And I'm wondering, first, how would that even work? Because I thought every application that was eligible was going to go into the pool and then the money would be divided equally. But the other thing about priority is, and maybe you covered this at the beginning, I thought the priority was for sort of against groups, as just mentioned recently, that had received other telework funding. And in the answer you just gave to that question, were you implying that that isn't relevant because for this grant, we can only apply for online sales type work? Or were you saying we can't apply for online sales and/or telework, even if we already got telework money? And then the third part is there priority given to small organizations with less than 20 employees?
Okay, so that's a lot of questions to get into. So yeah, so the focus of this program is for small businesses, 20 employees or fewer. The state of Maryland has asked that we prioritize businesses who have not received telework funding from either Department of Commerce or the Department of Labor previously. But the intent of this program, while you can use funds for telework needs, because we're requiring everyone to register on the Discover MoCo site, then everyone should also check that you're going to use the funds for enhancing online sales because you have registered at the Discover MoCo site. So that negates the issue with the if you got telework funds, because while you may, I mean, you could solely use these funds for online sales, or you could use them for online sales and to buy a laptop. But we will, it's open to everyone. Everyone must be registered on Discover MoCo, which automatically by default means that you're increasing your online sales presence. So that's how you qualify for the program.
Okay.
And if you have more than 20 employees and you don't get priority, does not getting priority mean you're not eligible and put in the pot?
It does not mean that you're not eligible and will not receive a grant. No. We just need to see what the universe of approved applications is first before.
Oh, sorry, we can't hear you.
Yeah. Lori, I think something.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. No, I mean, companies of any size may apply. We do ask how many employees you have, and we will look at that. We need to see what the full universe of applicants, approved applicants is based on business size. And then we'll make a determination on how we're going to do the pro rata share, maybe a different pro rata share for businesses that are 20 employees and fewer, and then a smaller pro rata share of funds to larger businesses. But we need to see what our whole universe of applicants is, approved applicants is, before we make that determination.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Deborah. Sylvia, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, awesome. So I'm on the website right now. It's enter listing detail. I know other people had issues with the address as well. So I put in my address, but it doesn't show up automatically in a list. So when I put in my address, there's no drop-down list. I just entered in the address manually. It seems to have accepted. And so my question is, when you put in your address, does it must come down? Do you have to pick something from the automatic drop-down menu?
No, you enter it in manually and then we verify it. The automatic address is pulled from Google. So it all depends on how it's typed in. It's more of a making it easier for you than not. So if you manually entered in, we'll be verifying it.
Got it. Okay. So, okay, as long as I can manually enter it in and submit the correct address and file, awesome. My last question is regarding address. It is a different apartment number than the original LLC paperwork because I, moved in between. And so do I need to send a letter documenting that the LLC address and the current business address are different, or is that going to be an issue?
So on my end for Discover MoCo, this is your marketing address. So it doesn't have to match your LLC. It's whatever you want your consumers to see.
Okay.
And then Lori, I'm not sure if that's the case for the grant.
Yeah, for our end, I mean, we just need to, if you're registered with SDAT, you just need to make sure you have the correct address with SDAT, with the state of Maryland right now, that will match whatever business address you're putting in your application so that we can confirm you are who you say you are. And then we'll need, if you're approved, we'll need to make sure that when you register as a vendor in the county, that you're using a verifiable business address that matches an address that we have for you in the application.
Got it. Okay. Because I know that with SDAT to change an address, it will definitely take longer than the application opening on the 12th. So if I
will say SDAT has gotten much quicker. During COVID, they were slow because people were remote, but they do have people coming back in the office. So they have, I do know that businesses have been able to get things updated more quickly now than previously. So hopefully you'll be able to get that done in a couple of days.
Got it. If I document somewhere in the application that I'm in the process of updating the address to match what's on Discovery MoCo, would that be sufficient for the time being if I show that I initiated the address change process?
I'm not sure where on the application you might be able to do that. I don't think there is.
We don't have a place there.
Opportunity for that, right? But I'll have to think about that.
That's fine. That's fine.
I about that. So yeah.
Okay. And then the last question is about the enter listing detail business name. So in the business field, I have a legal name for the LLC, which is Aromatic Education. But then for the branding name, what I advertise, it's Aromatic Prep. It's something different. So for the business name, do you want what's matching the LLC documents or just what is matching my website branding?
Again, for Discover MoCo, it's your branding. Yeah, so it's what you would like consumers to see.
Got it. Okay.
But
yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. On our side, you can actually put the legal name, as Laurie was just saying, but also we have a section for DBA, so you can put the branding name under the DBA.
And the DBA part, that will show on the application, right? Because I did not see it on the Discovery MoCo. Okay. All right, that's fine. Thank you for letting me know that. Okay, that's it. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Sylvia. Wesley, you want to unmute yourself and ask your question? Wesley?
Yes, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
My question, I had two more questions. The first question is, what about for the social media? We mostly advertise on LinkedIn, and our presence is mostly on LinkedIn, but I only see Instagram and Facebook. So what do we do about that?
I've gotten actually a couple questions about that. So we'll actually add a LinkedIn field to the form, and that'll be done shortly after this call. That's a very quick change.
Okay, thank you. And then again, and I apologize if I missed it, I did not see where to go for the check if you're in good standing with the state. I know they said it was going to post it in the chat, but I didn't see it. I apologize.
That's okay. I'll post it again.
All right. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay, Wesley. That's why we're here. We're here to help.
All right. Thank you. That's it for me.
Aliyah, you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Yes, thank you. So just going back to the mailing address, there's going to be separate fields in the application for mailing address, which would be, for instance, my legal business address that my company is registered to versus the physical address of the premises. Is that correct? I just want to make sure that obviously any checks or anything would need to go to my business mailing address, but my physical location is a different location, both in Montgomery County, but.
So for the grant application, when you put in your business address, it should be the whatever address the State Department of Assessments and Taxation has for your address, so that we can confirm it's you. If you get approved and when you register in the central vendor registration system is when you can put in an actual mailing address for a check to be mailed to you.
Okay, so like my business, when you register and like the business creation, that's like my legal business where all of my correspondence is, but my physical operate, you're saying when I fill out the grant application, I should put the address where my physical operation is happening, where I'm doing the business and doing the services.
Correct.
Because, again, like for taxes and all of that stuff, that's a different address than where I'm actually operating.
So we're going to need to verify that your business name, that ABC company located wherever Montgomery County, Maryland, matches ABC company as it appears in SDAT's system, and confirm that your business is in good standing with the state of Maryland.
So I'm sorry, is that, and I can check that. That SDAT is in the chat.
Daniel just put it in the.
I see it, that.maryland.gov. So whatever that address is the address that I need to use on the application.
Assuming that is a Montgomery County address, because you have to have a physical Montgomery County location to qualify for you have to be based in Montgomery County to qualify for this Montgomery County grant.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take just a few more. Is it Dimburi?
Yes, that's Denbero.
No, Denbero. Thank you, sir. Go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, my question is, how long does it take for you guys to review us and publish our information in the directory?
We review all information that was submitted in the morning and then at the end of the day. So we review twice a day, and then you are notified when the listing is activated.
One last thing, would you help? I think somebody else asked this question. Would you help in reformatting the image that comes with the profile of the company?
So if the image is submitted and it doesn't fit within the space, we will contact you and offer suggestions based on the image.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And the last question will go to Sylvia.
Can you hear me, Daniel?
Yes, I can.
Thank you very much. So regarding the image, I don't see it on the application page for Visit Montgomery, but is there a file size limit for the image?
There is. We'll be adding the limit to the form after this call.
Oh, thank you very much. And will is there also a size restriction as well that will be added?
We'll also add the recommended dimensions as well.
Okay, that'll be very helpful. Thank you. And then it relates to the last question about my address. I said earlier that the LLC documentation on SDAT is a different apartment number than the current business address. I moved within the same building. However, I'm looking at the SDAT right now, that the principal office is the old apartment, the resident agent is the old apartment. However, on SDAT, it says the mailing address is my current address that I want to use. Is that sufficient to match? Oh, really? Oh.
Yes, you're good. So.
Problem solved.
Well, it's always good to end on a really, really good note, right?
Yes. The last question. All right. Thank you so much.
The last question is always the best question. I don't know if Julie is still on the line, if she wants to say a few words before we wrap up.
Just thank everybody for your interest. We, are excited to offer this additional grant support for you guys. And don't don't, hesitate to either email bizportal@montgomerycountymd.gov or reach out to us if you have additional questions. And again, check back to the that COVID-19 resources for business page Friday morning. The application will be live. And I know that Corey and the team at Visit Montgomery stand by to help with everyone getting registered on Discover MoCo as well. So, thanks for your interest. Thank you guys for everything that you do every day. And we look forward to working with you on this grant.
Oh, okay, go ahead, Sophia. Go ahead.
Did you say it was 9 a.m. when the application opens on Friday?
Yes, that's 9 a.m. And it is not first come, first serve. So you
correct.
don't all have to rush to your computers at 9 a.m. on Friday. We will, there's an open and close period for the applications themselves. Then we will begin reviewing them as a bunch. So you do not need to get your application is quicker so that to make sure you get money. It's not first come, first serve.
Okay. Because the telework grant last year was first come, first serve.
That was a whole different program. That's correct. This is no, that's why we're doing these grants on a pro rata share. That's why I can't tell you how much your grant will be. It'll be based on the number of approved applications we received. So
thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank
Yes,
you. So,
thank you so very much.
oh,
for
no
all
problem.
the
So
information.
finally, just so that, because there's so much important information that was shared today by Lori and Corey, this video, actually, I'm going to post it to that, business resource information page so that you can not only watch it again, but also you can also share it with other businesses that were not able to be here today. So with that being said, thank you, everyone. Corey, do you want to say anything before we wrap up?
Yes, and again, thank you everyone for your interest in Discover MoCo, and thank you for your questions and feedback. And also, I've been monitoring chat as well. So again, thank you, and we look forward to helping promote your business through Discover MoCo.
All right, have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.
thanks, everyone.